What is the most toxic thing a parent can say to a child? You're worthless. And sometimes, because they say that so much, you start to believe them frown. So you're saying that I'm a bad parent in response to any form of help-seeking of constructive criticism was the worst for me. Oh yes, I've gotten this before. You try to not internalize for once and it goes straight to this. Were you raised by my mill because she says this to me whenever I refuse to put up with even her minor bullshit? I kicked your mom out and I can kick you out as well. My dad was kicked out at 13. They started to throw that in my face as a threat to kick me out when I was 9. They'd start counting down the years, and by the time I was 11, saying they'd do it earlier. My dad made my mom choose between me or him when I was 15. He was angry I wouldn't give him my email password so he could change it and block me from having any friends after I changed schools. My mom without hesitation told me to leave. It was winter. I had no coat. I wandered around town, then slept under the stairs of the building they lived in. Eventually that night my father gave my mother permission to let me back in. I told them about this trauma when I was 25. They both screamed at me and called me a fucking liar while I cried. I'll never forget the trauma of my mother telling her child to leave and choosing her husband over an email password. We're moving and you're not welcome. This is what my dad said to me while blackout drunk, after he took my sister's pizza that I made, ate it in front of me, and then threw the pizza at me after I asked him why the fuck he's like that and walked away. We were supposed to be moving to a new place the next couple weeks after this fight. My sister's childhood best friend lived with us for several years because her mother made good on that very threat. Her parents were divorced and her father lived out of the area. Her mother decided she wanted to move and told the girl that her brother was moving too, but she wasn't welcome and could go live with her father instead. My sister's friend didn't want to move to where her father lived, so she moved in with us and lived with us until she went away to college 5 years later. I'm going to throw myself off a building, you all hate me anyway. And 100 variations of that. OMG, I'm in my 40s and still hear this from my mom. My response has gone from terror when I was younger to go ahead and get it over with already. Same with my mom. Also wanting to crash the car and saying I'll kill us both. To me as an 8-year-old. I wish you were the one who died, not your father. I had a similar one, although the double whammy of losing your dad and hearing that I can't imagine. For me, a kid my age at the bowling alley we used to frequent died, so I got why does God take a good kid like that and you get away with acting like this? Talk shit about the other parent then compare you to them. You're just like your father. Right in the childhood trauma. Had that one time when I was a teenager, it was a big argument and I was an angry teen. I said, well, you fucking married him and then stayed long enough to have kids, so that's on you. It was the last time she said it. This actually happened to my cousin. Her father committed suicide when she was 8. From then on her mother became an alcoholic. After losing custody of her kids, she was eventually granted the ability to see her kids unsupervised, which did not pan out. The kids spent the weekend with her, but pretty soon she started drinking very heavily. My cousin told her she would have to tell another adult that she was drinking, and the mom started calling her all sorts of terrible names, so my cousin ran to the bathroom and locked the door behind her. I swear to God the mom actually said to her own 15-year-old daughter, when the police ask you why both your parents are dead, you'll know what to tell them. I'm going to kill myself just like your father did and both will be your fault. My cousin is so sweet, funny, and pretty, and she's one of my favorite people in the planet. She is so kind and she got dealt a shitty hand. Your cousin probably still needs help, because she might consciously or unconsciously think that saying certain things to people will cause them to commit suicide. Especially because she is such a nice person. I am saying this. How is she doing now? It may not be as harsh as other things stated, but the dreaded "it's all in your head" / you are just imagining it. As it turned out, I wasn't imagining it, and now I struggle to differentiate what's real and what's not because I was led to believe I thought I was imagining things constantly. Gaslighting is such a horrible thing to do. Especially to a kid. You are not alone. I always need a second opinion because I think mine is invalid and I imagine things. I always feel like I am the problem in every situation. I have a lot of issues of am I faking it? Medical wise. It drives my husband nuts cause I will be in so much pain / about to pass out / almost died from delivering a baby cause I was scared I was faking it. That shit messes you up. It's not even easy to fix because it's ingrained in you to shut up and suck it up and to question your sanity. My parents almost got CPS called on them like twice for sending me to school deadly sick, but my nickname at home was Dolores One Who Hurts. I have a list. I wish I aborted you too. I wish I put you up for adoption. List all the bad things about dad and then immediately tell me I look / act just like him. What did I do to deserve such a disrespectful child? Why couldn't I have a good one? I was not a bad kid at all, always home, cleaning the house, cooking for her, good grades, people pleaser, etc. She wonders why I never talked to her about big things happening in my life, why I put 5,000 miles in between us, and why I haven't returned home for almost 10 years. Edit, I am absolutely overwhelmed by all your lovely well wishes, and how many of you relate. In all that space I put between my mother and I and all the time I took, I created a lovely little life. I worked on myself so much and I am healing from the traumas I experienced. I so wish the same for everyone who relates. I am attempting to reply to every comment and wish you all something lovely and positive because you deserve it. If I miss yours, I still think you are lovely and wonderful and deserving of the best things life can offer. Edit number 2, so many of us dealing with this. This wonderful book helped me and another editor jumpstart ourselves to healing and realization. Toxic Parents, Overcoming Their Hurtful Legacy and Reclaiming Your Life by Drive. Susan forward. If you have a way to read this, please do, especially those of you who can't go to therapists who would recommend this to you. The next thing will be telling you and everyone else what a great mother she was and how ungrateful you are. Been there, seen that. Stay strong and away from the crazy. You're the reason why your dad and I almost divorced. I got this too. Also, you're always up so late. I can't even have sex with your mother. Screaming in my face on the school run. Fun times. Ah yes, the classic everything is your fault even though you had nothing to do with it. Look, X-kid is doing it better than you. Look, that kid is X-year-old and they can do it. This is probably not close to being the most toxic thing a parent can say to a child, but it's a frighteningly casual thing to say for a parent, and I'd guess that most of the time, they're not even realizing that they're putting their own child down. Most parents are probably trying to encourage their child to try harder by comparing them to someone else. However, this is not the way, not even close. The same goes for comparing down to other children. Stop complaining. Kids in Africa don't even have anything to eat. You should be grateful for what you have. Like this is going to solve any problems I have. Fuck this, you. I am the Walu. Your comment hit home. Being compared to someone else is effed up. Especially if you're a left-king child who takes any comparison as I'm not good enough. Any comparison TBH, mine would say when I was your age. I gave up everything I liked for you. 95? Why not 100? Why can't you be like so-and-son's child? They do one impressive thing a bit subtler than the top comments here, but can eat a child's self-worth and guilt them well into adulthood and pass by standard alarms. I remember bringing home a report card with a 99 grade, out of 100, and being so proud, and my mother saying, "There's still room for improvement." I wish you'd commit suicide. My dad. Been told the same thing by my mother multiple times, that shit fucks you up. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, and I hope and pray you have a happy, healthy life now. Smile. Very similar. Was found self-harming. Handed me a bigger knife and told me to do it properly and finish the job. We're here. We have validation from internet strangers, so we win. You're a useless disappointment. Do you think you'll ever amount to anything? You're pathetic. You're like a tiny little ant. I could destroy you so easily. I don't deserve you. I'm too good of a parent for you. You're an abuser. It's insane when parents try to flip the abuser card on an actual child. You're so abusive. Runs crying outside because you wouldn't hug them after they screamed at you so much spittle flew from their face. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.